Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Langley and I am going to show you guys our Kiri, A Tale of Nine. I want to show you guys our Sprint 3 or Sprint 4 milestone 2. I'll show you guys what I've done. So, what we did was made a couple of them. I went ahead and set mine to the new game. That's what they all went ahead and did it on. So as soon as you start a new game, you'll see mine. Now, the theme of my level is you are in a volcano. What I really wanted to do was make sure. So what I did was I changed a lot of things with the shadow warp. The shadow warp was pretty much a dash forward to where it would like kind of just teleport him there, or like just push him there and launch the character. Instead, I changed it to a more of a phase out. He moves and then it's done. Um, so without further ado, let's go ahead and show you what I've worked on. I changed the shadow warp up like I showed you. Went ahead and the mechanic that I made for it is called a warp tunnel. So as you can see, the warp tunnel is there. I went ahead and I put this in to show the player that, hey, instead of running into the tunnel is going to work, that they need to kind of use the shadow warp to make it teleport. So you can literally sit still and you hit the right trigger like it showed on the deal. Player moves there. So now I did do, what I did was I went in and I saw Derek Maronowski's, his tutorial video on moving the character along a spline. So that's what I kind of did at first. I had to move the spline, and then as you can get farther in the game, you'll notice that I started noticing that you didn't have to stretch out the spline. All you had to do was just kind of set the spline there. So with that, I kind of made it... to where the player could, it's more like a warp like that. You don't see them traveling along the whole spline. It's just you're zipped there. So, and at first when I made these, I had it to where, like he did, to where this sphere, if the fox broke the sphere while doing the shadow warp, that it would teleport him. Well, I noticed that through a few play tests that it wasn't really activating like it should. So what I did was I put an overlap instead of just making it the sphere that he ran into. I made an overlap where if he went through the overlap, it would teleport him in. It's actually been working a lot better, as you can tell. He's been doing it more often. That last time I just went down too much. So I also saw in the playthrough videos that that this lineup was a little hard for him, so I gave him a little rest spot here so they can continue it. We're actually coming in contact with the next mechanic that I made, which is called the lava platform. So let's go ahead and do this for you guys so you can see what it is. So as you can read, what I did was I tried to stress the fact that tab was a lock-on, because a lot of players weren't getting the lock-on effect. They're like, it would be nice if we had something to see what we were targeting. Well, there is. They just have to press tab. And they weren't doing that, so I reminded them again with a tutorial, and I didn't want them to get ahead of themselves, so I placed the aquatail tail here at this point. Normally you would have to, like most players, for new players, that would be better if they locked on. Since I know how this works, all you have to do is look at it straight on and hit the ability. This is my lava platform. If you use the aquatail ability and put it on the platform, it will change the mesh from the material that it's on now to a safer material, which is this. Hope it didn't do it. Something that I fixed, but it didn't work. So here, let's target again like I was saying before. Now it's not working for some reason. I do not. That's something that's... There it goes. I don't know why it's doing that. I will definitely take a double check look at it. Sorry. Tab. No. Tab. No. Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to show you. Okay, so see how he got hurt? When it's on this mesh, damage is dealt and the sizzle goes. If the player actually does it just right, there is no sound, there is no damage, as you can tell. Boom. Another mechanic that I added in was this fireball. It's called the lava bomb. It goes up and down on a spline. I also added it in to where you could change the timing of it to where if you wanted two of them in a row, they wouldn't hit you. I want to get over here and I want to show you the death to those. So here's the next level. So I tried to make this more of a mastery level. You had the introductory at the first part of the level, then the practice part of the level through there, and then this is kind of the mastery part to where you have to, one, two, three of them to get here, or, three portals to get here, and then one to move on. I'm going to go ahead and show you this way. I made a type of a forked path. They all lead the same way, you will see. So here's these. If the player runs into them, okay, well, of course, there's the death. The lose condition if you fall into the lava at any point in time. So if you was to miss this, as you saw before, and die, then to these lava bombs. If you touch the lava bombs, you'll die as well. So, well, you would have to just wait for the opening and go from there. So I wanted to show you those lava bombs. Let's go ahead and I want to show you the rest of the level. As you can see on the platform, if the player overlaps it, they do go down to add more suspense and hardening to the player. I can adjust the durations on it. So the first ones, they didn't move very much to let the player get used to it. These ones do move to add more of a practice and mastery feel for the lava platform and jumping through the portals. Now, while I did, if you do notice, it does take a little bit of time to target it, hit the aqua tail, then untarget it, switch back to the dash and jump on it. I did keep that in mind. You do have plenty of time to do that, for the player to do that. I also noticed here that in order to go back and get the secret areas that I put in there, players would have to jump down there and basically restart over. So what I did was I added these extra 2 portals in at this point. So if a player is to go over here, mess it up, let him die. I could have saved myself, but I'd rather him die. So, here, let me go ahead and do this. By the way, that lava fall will kill the player if they jump into it. Just wanted to show that, like I did put kill volumes everywhere on this level. There is nothing missed. So, alright, so let's get back here. Alright, so like I said before, this zips you back here so they could do the second way. If you noticed, I went this way, and it took me that way. If you go through this way, it will take you the way that I first started to go. See, and that's the trick. Player has to be paying attention. This is why I like it, because it takes a lot of strategy and stuff in it, and that was completely my fault. Dang it. And see, I have, so players were having trouble getting out of here if they would warp and they would try to move. So when they would move, it would something like that. It would send them too far forward, or they'd be like this when they came out of it, and the would be in front of them, so they'd have to turn. So I just locked the player's movement. I got tired of it, so I blocked it here. Let me jump over. There we go. There we go. All right. So now that one I set it up as a more mastery kind of thing. It lets you have to like let it drop down a little bit for the player to hit the portal, so that way they actually had to wait a second. And here is the other part that I put on here of a little, canal for them to pick up the last little ones before the final area. Here's the final area. So these wolves, they do attack. First, all I have to do is step in. farther and they will attack me. I did have a playtester say that he thought he could jump off of here and do his things. I would love to let somebody go ahead. There are kill volumes everywhere up there. It's not just see, it's not just if you was to go off the side straight, it's to just literally fall off, try to get over there or something, they'll die. So I just wanted to show those in there so that way nobody thought that they could just map. And yes, they go everywhere. So I also redid the Aquatail. If before the Aquatail was posted onto the player, well, I wanted the Aquatail to summon because of my platforms. It was hard to see the platforms when you jumped on it because the mesh was just so, look at it. It's in depth. It's hard to see through. So whenever it would pop on the player, they couldn't really see to jump onto the platforms. So I really wanted to do something for them to make them be able to launch it instead of be stuck on there and not be able to do anything. I wanted them to see how to first add the last little cherry tree to it. And anyways, that's my level. I wanted you guys to see it all. It's a volcano and everything like that. I loved it. Hope you guys love it too. I had a lot of playtesters say they like it. I'm really happy with the way the shadow worked out with the effect. And it does go on the direction that they push. If the player's going this way, go that way. So it is a multi-directional air ran out. So yeah, anyways, like I did do that. Let's see, it goes in which direction they're facing. So they're going to a certain direction. But yeah, anyways, the Aquatail is now, it does spawn somewhere else. It does not spawn on the player, so that way for the lava platform, that's why I changed it. I also changed I asked my teacher, GSI, sorry, I can't remember his name right now, I'm so flustered, but he helped me with the tutorial, and he was like, go ahead and take the camera and bring it away from him to make it more of a traditional platformer. I also moved the sun for you guys to be able to jump on the platforms easier by using the shadow. Those were his ideas, and I wanted to make sure I added those in because helped those play testers a lot. So anyways, that's my level. Thank you guys very much. I hope you guys liked it just as much as I liked putting it together. So, out of here. Stop the